Harrison, they got a pretty dynamic offense with weapons all over the field. When you study them on tape, what do you really see?
Yeah, like you mentioned, they're pretty balanced. They obviously do a great job up front and establish the run well. Two really good backs and playmakers outside and a top shelf quarterback. So they really do a great job of establishing the run and passing off that and being balanced.
Speaking of top shelf quarterbacks, what it's like going against Dak Prescott? Pretty much. What are the challenges of that?
Yeah, he's well rounded, kind of like their offense. He's quick through his reads, has a big arm, and has the ability with his legs to extend plays.
Useful having Xavier around this week to talk about some of those skill players and Dak.
Yeah, it's always nice having guys that spend a lot of time around personnel. You try to take what you can, but for the most part you're going off the tape. But it's definitely Xavier's a guy who spent a lot of time there and smart guy who has a good memory. Courtney.
Okay, thanks. Zim said it's hard to fool Dak. Why do you think that is with some of the pre-snap stuff? Is it just the amount of weapons that he has? Is there certain things that helps him be able to, discuss or read that quickly?
I don't know exactly. I don't want to speak for Dak, but I would say that he does a great job in the film room. Has a good understanding of what defenses are supposed to look like if they're too high or single high or whatever. But also it does help when you have a balanced offense and you can't really like overload to one guy because everyone can hurt you.
I think last time you were up here, we were asking you about, the secondary coming together, getting 6 games with Patrick and Xavier. How tough is it going to be replacing Patrick now moving forward?
Yeah, it's he's been playing great, and not only that, he's been a great influence for our DB room, for the corners and the safeties, and our defense. So, definitely don't want to lose a guy like Pat B, but it's the nature of the game. So we'll have guys step up. It's just how the seasons always go.
You started 10 games, obviously, with Cam last year. What have you seen from him this year?
He's fighting. I know the season didn't start out how he wanted it to, but he stepped in and he's played really well for us.
Harrison, I know you don't study him, but what are your thoughts on what Diggs is doing?
Just the sheer number of interceptions is obviously very impressive. Doesn't happen very often. The only thing I can remember similar was I think Ed Reed missed a bunch of games and came back and played 8 games one year and had 8 picks. So I guess, it's kind of reminds me of that. But he's obviously making a lot of plays and getting his hands on the ball.
Why do you think all the passing records get broken almost every other year, but interceptions has stayed the same for 50, 60 years?
They keep writing the rules against us. And, yeah. It's just the reality of it. And I think quarterbacks have become more efficient over time. Some of that could be rule changes as well. But
Has defensive coaching changed at all? As far as guys just don't seem to take as many chances, or they're taught not to, or they're kind of taught to play more of a sound defense? I don't know.
I don't know because I was pretty young back in the day when you could hold a little more. So I wasn't around for that. But you can't get away with much on defense now, so it's hard to always play the ball if you can't touch anybody, you can't hit anybody. So
You guys are 3-3. A lot of people wondering, can you be an upper echelon team and that sort of thing. With that in mind, is this a good measuring stick game for you? Facing one of the better teams in the league on Sunday.
Yeah, they're all good measuring sticks. Even when you play teams that don't have great records, the NFL is a dogfight every week. Obviously, when you play a team with a good record, they're doing something right. They know how to win. So, yeah, I'd agree with that.
The pass defense this year compared to where it was last year, the rush has been better, coverage probably been better. How do you feel from the back that's been going, and has it just been a little bit more fun or a little bit less stressful this year?
it's always stressful, even when you're number one. But the pass rush, in my opinion, as a safety, is the best way to help coverage. And those guys up front are doing a great job. And for the most part, we've been playing pretty good as a unit. You know, there's a few plays, especially early on, that we didn't like, obviously. But we've tightened some things up, and the thing is, it doesn't mean everything's fixed, because you just go to the next week, the next issue, whatever. So just gotta stay vigilant with that, and not say, oh, we're playing good. That'll continue into the future.
Having Everson back in the role he's played the last few weeks, what has that meant to the defense as a whole with just the way he's played?
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off the last answer, that's not only does it help with the sack numbers and everything, it helps with the coverage, it helps just hurrying the ball out a little bit more. Can't focus on D quite as much, so it's big for us.
And, the atmosphere will be like, Sunday night, US Bank Stadium, national TV, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Night game, Halloween. I mean, I can't imagine it won't be wild. A lot of time before the game for people to get their costumes right and feel good for kickoff.
Experience, does it take a little while, off of about a week, to kind of get everybody refocused and back, ready to go? Zim said it kind of felt like coming back off of summer break at school.
Yeah, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And I can't answer why. I think guys are excited to be back. I think guys wanted to come back. Maybe because we got a little more time than normal, but I don't know. Seems like guys want to be here right now.
How big is that difference between being 3-3 and 1-5 a year ago? Because you guys knew how much you had to climb just to get to 500. Now you're at least 500 and can kind of set the course.
I can't even remember what I felt like last year, honestly. You just look at what you got right now. We're 3-3. You can say we could be this or we could be that, but it's where we are, and I think that's why we're excited to be back.
Do you have a costume picked out for Sunday?
I don't think I'm gonna costume up before the game, but I am a big Halloween guy, so a little disappointed I can't have a celebration, but I'll put some candy out for the neighborhood kids.
Nice.
But the problem is when you put out a bowl of candy, the first group of kids takes all of it, and it happens like almost every year, but whatever.
Do you put out the sign?
What are you giving out?
Full size candy bars, everything. I'm a big candy guy, big Halloween guy, so you got to go with the full size.
You're putting a bowl of full size out and you're surprised that they're taking them?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm asking for it, and I'm getting exactly what I asked for. But
What's the all-time best costume you've had?
that I've had, had some good ones. We went as the characters from Up once, so I was like with a cane, as an old guy. This big Peter Pan guy, or not Peter Pan, Robin Hood. Went as the American Gladiators once. I had long hair in college and was Jack Sparrow, and it was money. Yeah, those are good ones.
Do you have a costume picked out for Deuce this year?
Deuce is gonna be. What is Deuce gonna be? Man, I forgot. But we got something for him. He doesn't love the costumes, but he's got a good spirit.
You and Kirk were helping educate Conk on some 90s films with Nick Cage and everything. How's he doing with that?
I think he's doing well. He watched. Really, my main ask was, in my opinion, the stretch of Nick Cage movies from The Rock, Face Off, and Con Air. That's a must-see. Kind of, I think it was just 2 years in a row. So he knocked those out, and now we're going a little deeper now.
How deep are you going?
We're just trying to get him to kind of see those classic actors before they got famous, I guess, like Cocktail with Tom Cruise, The Firm. I guess he was famous, but like the forgotten films for our generation. He's enjoying it, yeah.
How's it for you to see him finally start to appreciate these a little bit better?
It's good. It's good. I think we sometimes get caught up in the flash of some of the new movies, like the Avengers and stuff. Like to see a little more dialogue.
Last couple?
I think we hit everything.
Thank you.